All right. So let's talk a little bit more about Rekieta. Nick Rekieta. Nick Rekieta and his wife, Kayla. Let's talk about them because I find this absurd that there's people out there that are like, how come the kids didn't step up? Where were the kids at, especially the oldest? Why wasn't he helping out, cleaning the house and all this stuff? And they bring up this whole, like, how could it be child neglect if there was, like, an oldest one there that could have been taking care of the other kids? Never mind the fact that it's the parents' responsibility to take care of the kids. I know the 16, one of them 16, but he's still considered a child, okay? But let me just say this. Is it not neglectful for a mother to leave their kids to fend for themselves so that the mom can do lots of drugs in the bedroom in the same house? She didn't go out to a hotel to have some weekend with Coke or anything and then wait to sober up and come back. I don't know if that would make it any better. I got to tell you, I've done CPS work before. That does not make it any better. Your kids still get removed. Don't do that stuff. Is it not neglectful for a mother to leave her kids, to do whatever, to not even be the mom in the house? She's in the house, but she's too busy spending time with Snow White. Like a lot of time behind closed doors. Like, who are these people? I know there's some names on YouTube, whatever. Some comics guy. I don't know what comics have anything to do with this. Some chick who looks hot, but acts like she's a Bible reader or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But like, it's insane that people are like, oh, the kid should have stepped up because the parents were just, they needed some help. The parents weren't struggling with anything that was reasonable. The parents brought hardcore drugs in the house and was storing them in the freaking bedroom. And according to that Aaron guy, they kept on telling everything, wouldn't stop talking. I'm glad he didn't stop talking. Apparently, they had drug, like bullets or whatever, even around the kids. So I wonder why they have the neglect charge. Like, if you seriously think there's no reason for neglect, you are like so dumb. You are so dumb. Let me say, is it not neglectful for a father to leave his kids alone to figure things out on their own so that he can just get blasted out of his mind? Oh, he's doing a YouTube show. So that requires him to get drunk, not just drunk, become dependent on alcohol to the point to where he can't live without it. He has to lick the bottle for the little droplets for sustenance. Okay? Okay? With Nick, we saw the streams of Nick Rekieta. Okay? He wasn't just he is an alcoholic, dude. Okay? So dad, Nick Rekieta, can get drunk off his ass and also snort crazy lines of blow during a break, during a stream, by the way, he comes back. And there's clearly white powder on his nose. Was that cocaine? Or did Nick Rekieta just stick his nose into a big bag of powdered donuts? Okay? I don't think he did the powdered donuts because he wouldn't be skeletal if he did. And you know what? The cops found a whole lot of cocaine in the house. Oh, but that could all be planted. That could all be planted. It's a deep state conspiracy. They're trying to go after Nick Rekieta because Nick Rekieta is a truth speaker, okay? He's a truth seer. All right, he's spitting facts. He's trying to unravel the secrets of the deep state. Give me a break. You sound like idiots. They sound like morons, especially lawyers who preaching that stuff. It sounds so dumb. This is a constitutional issue. The government should not be in your house. I tell you what, the government is going to be in your house if you're doing drugs, hardcore drugs around the kids. And I don't have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that because see what happens when the kids get involved in this stuff. You probably know of situations, okay? Okay. It's insane. It's insane here. I mean, okay, but let's talk about this. So there's a 16-year-old in the home. And people were like, how come the 16-year-old can't help out? How come, what was he doing? Trying to shift blame onto the kids. You know what's funny, too? They'll be like, how dare you laugh at Nick Rekieta? There's kids involved. But yet they'll turn around and be like, hey, 16-year-old, what were you doing? If you're one of those guys, not only are you one of the dumbest motherfuckers, not only are you a moron, but what the hell are you doing? You're shifting the blame on the 16-year-old? Come on. Come on. What? And let me, look, man, we were all 16 once, but all of our stories are going to be different. Yeah, I know 16-year-olds can be responsible. They can help out. They can do a lot. I mean, at 16, I was taking care of my laundry. I was cooking for myself. Was I cooking for myself? I didn't have to. I lived with mom and dad. My mom and dad did that stuff. Could I cook for myself if I needed to? Yeah. Sure. I mean, I could like heat up a pizza in the oven. Okay. I could read a box and do mac and cheese and stuff. All right. I like simple stuff that you can heat up in ovens and microwave and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't doing like casserole dishes or fancy recipes or anything. At 16, you're eating bags of chips. You're eating junk food, okay? It's like at 16, you're eating whatever you can find, okay? Okay? I mean, your parents make the what are supposed to be the nutritious meals, not just SpaghettiOs left and right, okay? All right? The things that fill you up just for a little while, but it's not really that good for you, okay? Yeah, I get it. And 16-year-olds can do stuff, be responsible. But we also know 16-year-olds are lazy and stuff too. And look, I know, and you know this too. There are situations where there are, I guess, households where kids, or the oldest, does have to take on parenting responsibilities. That does happen. And there are two scenarios I'm thinking of where this can happen. There's probably other scenarios too, but broadly speaking, scenario one. A child is raised to understand that he or she has responsibilities and expected to fulfill them. So that would be, I guess, an ideal household where I don't know what level the mom and dad have dysfunction. There's always some level of dysfunction, right? Some arguing and stuff. But they do take the time, maybe in the child's early years, they teach them responsibility, give them some chores, give them some expectations, however it is they want to do it. But the expectation is that you will do stuff around the house. You do help out. Okay. You establish that early on. You don't really have a problem moving forward. Now, there's various degrees of that scenario. They play out differently. Okay. Now, let's go to the other type. Another scenario is like a child is placed in a situation where they do not have a choice but to rise up and take on the parenting role to protect him or herself and the siblings if they're there. Now, sometimes what this looks like is that sibling may take on a role that mimics what the mom had done for her if she remembers that, can reflect on that, can think about that. Or she's like, she's like, I have to take care of the kids. So I have to feed them. I have to protect them. I have to do these things. Okay. And that can happen. But there are also scenarios where kids are not taught any of that and they do not figure that out. But instead, they are pampered with a nanny or in other ways are pampered, and they just don't have a sense that they need to be responsible. Now, that's as far as I'm going to go to judge the kids. I'm not judging the kids. I'm just describing that, okay? I am not judging the kids at all. But I will judge the parents. I will judge Nick and I'll judge Kayla. Why can I do that? Well, easy. Their dirty laundry's out there. Their information's all out there. They were literally arrested for having drugs in their home. A lot of cocaine. A lot of drugs. Okay? The whole sex stuff, whatever stuff, while that's sensational and stuff, fine. That's not the biggest problem. That's not even a problem. That's just stupid. That's just a marriage that's about to be a household that's going to be in ruins, okay? It's the drugs that are the big issue. Doing drugs in the home while the kids are there. And you have two households that combined for this. The Aaron guy kept talking about this stuff, acting like nothing's going to happen to him. We'll see about that. I mean, the parents still need to be parents. Like I said before in a previous stream, I understand that sometimes parents want to have a weekend and they want to party. Okay. If you want to do that, do it responsibly. I don't mean you have to make sure the party you have is responsible. No, you can go hard, do whatever you want during that party. Have the night of your life. Have the life of your life. What? Okay. But have the kids somewhere else with someone responsible. Okay. Make arrangements for that to happen. But also don't have a lifestyle where you're constantly doing that stuff at home. But let me tell you something, man. I used to do CPS stuff. Okay. In drug cases, even that scenario I just described, going to a Willie Nelson concert, smoking a doobie, and coming back. The kids are at grandma's house, right? And then they come back the next day. Everything should be fine, right? Everything should be fine. But even a situation like that, depending on the state you live in, could result, if it gets reported, of government intervention and kids being placed in safety plans, or I forgot the terminology. I know there's a kinship placement. There was another kind of soft placement they would do before it goes to court. But I mean, even stuff like that. So, I mean, you just be careful. If you're gonna party, you be careful. And don't be around people who like to snitch and talk and all that stuff. But like I said, I will judge Nick and Kayla here. I'm not judging the kids. And I'll judge them because instead of being parents, they were living as if they did not have kids. They were living as if they didn't have any children dependent on them. And they'd rather get high, snort lines of blow, okay, and tend to their own stupid vices. No one was cleaning the home, apparently, according to the information we have. It reads as if no one was cleaning the home. No one's doing the dishes. No one's doing the laundry. Who's feeding the kids? The nanny that they used to have, she left. And that April girl was going to be a nanny? I don't think she was a nanny. I think she was a Rekieta's personal assistant in some ways. Okay? But instead of being responsible, they just stopped doing that. Clearly, because they had the concerns of not just one member of church, but not just two, not just three, but four. And it was like, and it wasn't like, oh, one day of stinky clothes. It was like, oh my God. 4 days? What is going on there? Do these kids shower? And you'll hear lawyers be like, oh, kids know how to shower. 6-year-olds know how to shower. Are you fucking stupid? I should censor that out. if you are responsible and raised your kids to be responsible and take care of themselves, yes, your kids may know, hey, it's time to take a shower. I'll take a shower. But if your kids are not raised that way, and that's the fault of the parents, then yeah, when there's no one on them to remind them that it's shower time, as if they're being living in an institution or whatever, then it's just not going to happen. Clearly. So, I mean, there might, I might be preaching to the choir. And then there'll be others that like still see it their way, that somehow the 16-year-old should have stepped up to the plate and was failing the other kids. You think that way, like, you are horrible. If you're thinking that way, and you still keep in mind that you're asking for that to happen while the parents are in the same house doing drugs, like not just weed, but just hardcore stuff, and get blasted all the time. Like, you don't make any sense to me. Okay? It does not make any sense. Is it reasonable? Is it reasonable? So, yeah, I'll wrap this video. I ask those same questions, the two questions. Is it not neglectful for a mother to leave her kids to fend for themselves so that she could do lots of drugs? And the same thing for Rekieta. Is it not neglectful? Is it not neglectful for a father to have the kids to figure it out on their own so that he get blasted every night, every freaking night? But honestly, would you let Nick Rekieta and Kayla raise your kids? Oh, y'all take it easy.